Hey friends, this is Jake again, and welcome to another one of my videos on how to make a friend. And if you haven't checked out my social relationships playlist, I'll put a link up here and in the description down below. And in today's tip, go to a city council meeting. I know, it sounds like Snoresville, but hear me out for a moment. Going to a city council meeting, you might actually meet people who are like-minded just like you. How do I know this? Let me tell you a story. One of my last classes to get my AA degree was a political science course. And one of the requirements in order to actually pass the class was to go to a city council meeting. Everyone in class was rolling their eyes, leaning back in the chair like, come on. And I'm sure half of us were trying to figure out how we can get out of it. So what I did is I looked online, looked up the city council, and I was able to see what dates and times are available to get there. Word of advice, if you've never been to your city council before for any meetings or anything like that, Google it, show up there a little early because you're more than likely gonna get lost. And once I was able to find a bunch of other students who looked like me that were lost, I was like, my people. I was able to walk up and they were all scratching their heads thinking, are we at the right place? I'm like, we must be, right? So I walked in, I sat down in the back, and then the first person went on the microphone and introduced what the agenda was going to be. So it's good to know that you're able to identify what you're going there for because the agenda's online if you have the ability to look it up before you go. My interest wasn't necessarily caught until I heard this one person speak. Out of maybe about 8 different speakers that night, this one person spoke, and it was about homelessness. I was leaning toward out of my chair, shockingly. That was the moment when I was actually able to develop a new friendship. I had no idea this person was just a local in my city, and they went up there, spoke their piece, and I saw like, wow, this is actually where people try to get things done in my city. Rules and regulations and buildings and organizations and good changes that happen socially don't happen just because. I was able to actually see the birth of it right then and there of this individual who went up there and said, I have this homelessness initiative idea. I'm interested in this. I think a lot of people are gonna back this. What do you think about it? And then it is deliberated in front of a city council, and then they talk about it weeks later at other meetings. You get the ball rolling, is starting at the city council. So the good news is that if you do go to any of these city council meetings and someone goes on the microphone and speaks about something that hits your heart and you feel maybe just as passionate about them or something you have interest in, pay attention to where that person walks to when they're done speaking. I was lucky enough to have this person sit down near the front, and I was able to see them because I was sitting much higher in the back. And so after all the meetings were done, everyone stands up and they all talk and shake hands, and I was able to find that person, introduce myself, and let them know, I think what you're doing is amazing work. Do you think we can connect sometime? The fact that you approach them and you're able to articulate similar to what they said in a meaningful way probably means wonders to them. And that right there could be the beginning of a good friendship. But when you're surrounded by someone or other people that are more like-minded on something that you're passionate about or you have a heart for, you never really know what could develop. Chances are you're going to connect on something that's pretty meaningful, stuff that you already have in common with. And if it's something that deeply rooted that you want to connect with someone on a deeper level with, go to your city council. You're going to run into people who believe in the same policy as you, who have similar ideas like you. And yes, again, it sounds like Snoresville going to one of these things, but you're able to connect with people that you would have never thought they thought similar like you or had such brilliant ideas that you can jump on the bandwagon and join and help them with their organization or their idea to promote it. And yes, this does work both ways. So if you have some sort of local initiative that you want to begin or some sort of local thing that you want to change or something that you feel could be beneficial to your local community, see what you can do to get it on the agenda for city council. See what you can do to get it approved. And then when you go and speak, there might be others who are sitting in the back like myself who are interested and want to connect with you. And then a friendship can be born right there. So going to the city council doesn't have to be as bad as it sounds. You never really know who you're going to meet. You never really know what kind of change that you can make, how connecting with others can make that change, and even develop motivation in one another to make change happen. So that's another one of my tips on how to make a friend, which is to go to one of your city council meetings. And for those who are also interested in developing their own intimate personal relationship, I'll put a link up here and in the description down below with my most recent video in 8 ways in how you know you're in a mentally healthy relationship. There are different habits that I teach in there. It's a pretty lengthy video, how to let you know if you have a mentally healthy relationship, and if you don't, I have a ton of tips in there and how you can get there. If you're struggling in your relationship and you need some answers for it, go check out that video. I think it could be really helpful for you. Thanks again for sticking around to the end of this video. I really appreciate your time and effort in this, and remember, take care.